He called all his exes crazy. Then I found the truth. He called all his exes crazy. Then I found the truth. I thought I found the love of my life. I was actually just one of his many soulmates. Throwaway because I still feel stupid writing this, but I need to get it off my chest. I met Evan online about a year ago, and from the very beginning everything moved fast. Too fast. He sent good morning and good night messages every day, long paragraphs about how different I was, how he'd never connected with anyone like this before. Within weeks he was calling me his girlfriend, talking about our future, saying things like he felt like we were meant to meet. I remember thinking it was intense, but I told myself that sometimes when you know, you know. He told me all his exes were toxic, that he'd been treated terribly, that he just wanted peace and honesty. I believed him. I wanted to be the person who showed him not everyone was like that. At first, he was attentive and affectionate, but slowly it started turning into something else. He'd make comments about my clothes, saying he just didn't want other guys looking at me. He'd question my friendships, especially male ones, and say they didn't respect our relationship. If I went out with friends, he'd act distant afterward and say he felt disconnected from me. Anytime I tried to explain myself, he'd say I was being defensive or that I was twisting his words. Without realizing it, I started changing. I posted less online. I answered my phone faster. I stopped bringing up things I knew would cause tension. I felt like I was constantly managing his emotions, trying not to trigger another argument. The first time things really exploded was over something small. I was helping my mom one evening and didn't check my phone for about an hour. When I finally looked, I had dozens of missed calls and messages asking where I was, why I was ignoring him, telling me to just be honest. When I explained what I was doing, he went completely silent. No replies for 2 days. When he finally responded, he said he needed space because I'd hurt him and made him feel unimportant. Somehow, I ended up apologizing. That became our cycle. He'd blow up, disappear, come back as the victim, and I'd apologize just to keep the peace. He talked about his ex constantly. She was crazy, obsessed, and still trying to ruin his life. He said she stalked him and made fake accounts to spy on him. I believed him, even when things started feeling off. He refused to post me on social media. He had multiple accounts on different platforms. He always turned his phone away when he was texting. When I asked about it, he said I was paranoid and reminded me how much he'd been hurt in the past. One night, curiosity got the better of me. I searched his username on another app, not really expecting to find anything. What I found made my stomach drop. A post from just a few weeks earlier saying he'd finally cut off his toxic ex and was focusing on healing and staying single. The photo was clearly recent. The comments were full of women flirting with him, and he replied to some of them. When I confronted him, he laughed and said it was old. When I showed him the timestamp, he completely flipped. He accused me of invading his privacy, controlling him, and acting just like his ex. I was so used to being blamed that for a moment, I almost believed him. About a week later, I got a message from someone I didn't recognize. It was short and uncomfortable. "Hey, this is awkward, but are you dating Evan?" It was the ex, the one he said was crazy. We talked. And everything lined up. The love bombing, the control disguised as concern, the disappearing acts, the way every argument somehow became about his trauma. She sent screenshots showing that while he was telling me I was the only one, he was telling her he was confused, telling another girl he was single, and keeping multiple women emotionally invested at the same time. When I confronted him with all of it, he didn't deny it. He broke down crying, saying he was broken, that he had trauma, that he never meant to hurt anyone. Then he said something that finally snapped me out of it. "If you leave, you're just like everyone else who abandoned me." That's when I realized he didn't love me. He loved being needed. He loved control. He loved playing the victim. I ended it. The aftermath was almost worse. Within days, he was posting vague quotes about betrayal and healing. He started telling people I was toxic and manipulative. Within a month, he had a new girlfriend, posting her constantly and talking about how happy he was. He never posted me like that. She looked exactly like I did when I met him, convinced she'd found something special. I didn't reach out to warn her. Not because I didn't care, but because I know how convincing he can be. When you're in the love bombing phase, you don't listen to warnings. You think you're different, The scariest part of all of this is how normal he seemed. Toxic people don't show up as villains. They show up as everything you've been waiting for. And by the time the mask slips, you're already emotionally attached.